I think we've all been in this position before to where we feel like we're working hard, we're doing things, and then we look up and wonder where the heck did the time go? 1, 2, 5, 10 years gone. But during this time, things were happening, but not enough of the right things were happening. And maybe if you admit it, maybe you're sort of drifting because it happens, right? And not intentionally moving towards something significant, whether it be, you were distracted or, working, but maybe not working hard as you need to be, or, maybe unmotivated. You were handling business, but again, maybe not doing the exact things that needed to be done. Doing all these things and still having a feeling that you were not on course. Because I think if we're honest with ourselves, we've all felt this way at some point in our life, then or now. So this idea of laziness or motivation or not being capable, but maybe it was none of those things. And what if it was just you never really put together a good direction for your life? Maybe that's all it was. And in these situations, you can become directionless. And individuals end up not only not knowing where they're going, but they can end up going on any path. And while some of these things can be positive, it can be a huge warning sign if you live too long in that manner. So you wake up, you go to work, you come home, go to sleep. It's what we all done. That cycle. Unfulfilled, the days and times pass like the wind, and it's like a blur. And then finally one day you wake up, you pull your head out of the sand and you ask yourself, how the heck did I end up here? How? Why? You drift. And in these situations, it actually has less to do with motivation and more to do with lacking a filter. I mean, it could be a lot of things, but for the purposes of this video, lacking a filter, and I talked about it in my previous video. And a filter can serve as your internal navigation system that you can live by and live through. It can allow you to figure out what matters most, what doesn't, what truly deserves your attention, and what's a distraction and not worth pursuing. And then without that filter, you can just end up in a chain reaction behavioral loop, responding to things that don't or that aren't aligned with your value system. And then you end up pursuing maybe opportunities that are nowhere near what truly matter to you. You're busy, but your steps aren't intentional. You see what I'm getting at here? And again, we've all maybe had periods like this in our life. But the question you really need to be asking yourself, one question, am I moving toward something that actually matters? Because some people confuse movement with progress. It's a big distinction. Believing they're not the same. They're not even close. Because you can be in motion every day and still be in the exact same place you were a year ago. So true direction comes from values, not goals, not motivation, not having more confidence. Core values, core. And a lot of people start with the goals first, and that's cool. That's fine. But goals can be a bit short-sighted and they change. I want a better position. I want more money. I want more confidence. All good things. We all want those things. But values endure, they stay. So the values are what make up our identities. Important. So things like growth, integrity, courage, responsibility, family, spirituality, service, whatever the case may be. So when you identify your values, something powerful can happen. You gain a filter. And when you get clear, crystal clear, you can make aligned decisions instead of making random emotional ones. Big difference. So now instead of asking, what do I really want to do? You can ask, what truly aligns with what I want to become? Those are two different questions, completely different questions. Identity-based approaches, the identity lasts. And I think, when you living according to your identity, that's how you're able to live a meaningful life. And a meaningful life is built one aligned decision at a time. So I'm a big believer in writing stuff down. So I want you to do this if you have an opportunity. Take out a piece of paper, open up your phone, and write down 5 traits or 5 things that you deeply and genuinely respect about a person. Not yourself, about someone else you know or people you know. Spend some time thinking about this. And then I want you to narrow that list down from 5 to 3 or maybe 2. This list is your filter. These things you've written down. That's simple. And the next difficult decision or situation that comes up, ask this. What would someone with these exact same values do? What's aligned? Not what's convenient or comfortable or is cool. You want to talk about something that has the potential to completely change the trajectory of somebody's life? It's this right here. Moving with intention is how you go from directionless to targeted and calculated, and living with intention and purpose. And that's all we all should strive to be. Life can get a lot easier. I mean, you still got to do the work, but life can get a lot easier. So if you can now slowly architect who you're becoming, one aligned decision at a time, and move with more purposeful direction. So the potential has always likely been there the whole time. Everybody's got potential. It's the direction that actually needed refinement. And the direction starts with values, starts and ends with values. So if you're feeling lost, stuck, disconnected, change the question you asked from the beginning. Don't ask about how do I get motivated? How do I get more focused? Which those questions are good questions to ask. But define the values and ask yourself what matters the most right now. Because when you know what matters, you can start moving toward it clearly. And when you start drifting, come back to the values, come back to that internal navigation system, and that's where momentum begins. And that's how you start moving forward, and that's how you start living. I'm Darren. Be well.